Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 11th meeting of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. Commissioners, I see that we have some minutes for consideration.
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve the minutes of the 45th meeting as previously circulated.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the 45th meeting as previously circulated. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. The minutes are approved. Moving into the public hearings, calling agenda item number 1, application number 22-23690 from J&J Investment Group LLC. Mr. Luke, nice
Good
to see you.
afternoon. To my right is Daniel Lim. He's the member of the applicant LLC. And the record reflect Wayne Luke as counsel. We have no changes to the investigator's report other than what we discussed at the preliminary hearing.
Thank you. Commissioner? I'm sorry, no, Ms. Agag, it's your turn.
Good afternoon. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application. For the record, a summary of the July 21st, 2022 preliminary hearing testimony was provided to interim chair Min prior to the public hearing.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions or type of action for the applicant?
Chair, motion to approve application number 22-23690.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 22-23690. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Calling agenda item number 2, application number 22-24197 from 888 Phoenix Inc. Mr. Nishioka, nice to see you as well.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Commission, Greg Nishoka, appearing on behalf of the applicant. To my right is Raymond Zhang. His last name is spelled Z-H-A-N-G. We have, this matter has been continued several times. We have no additional changes or anything to add to the investigator's report, other than the fact that we did submit, I believe, some documentation yesterday, today, and today.
I didn't receive any additional documentation. So are you able to say what it is?
Yeah, sure. We did submit a letter to the commission, if I may summarize. Basically, after discussing with the clients, we proposed that the hours of service initially for perhaps a 6-month probationary period last call be at 10 o'clock, closing will be at 10:30 for a 6-month. We propose a 6-month probationary period. And in my letter, since you have not, I don't know if you've seen it or not, I did, and I will paraphrase. Just to be totally transparent about the matter. I mean, if after the probation period, whatever the commission may deem is proper under circumstances, the applicant will definitely try to seek an expansion of the hours to the proper procedure with the commission.
Well, we appreciate you folks being flexible.
Yeah, thank you. And we also did submit a petition from the tenants of the building in support. There are, I think, 16 signatures. There are 17 units in the building, 1 unit is vacant.
Okay. Ms. Agag, thank you.
Thank you. This matter has from the July 28th, 2022 and August 25th, 2022 settings. Public hearing has been kept open to permit the applicant to appear before the neighborhood board and to address protests. At this point, and due to the submission of additional protests and to evaluate possibly duplicate or non-valid protests, the recommendation is to close the public hearing and to continue for 1 week to September 29th, 2022, to enable the licensing investigator to prepare the second supplemental licensing investigative report, updating the percentage of the owner's lessees within 500 feet of the proposed premises protesting the license application, and the percentage of registered voters within 500 feet of the proposed premises protesting the license application.
Thank you, Ms. Agag. Mr. Nishioka, what is your response to those recommendations?
Yeah, yes, Madam Chair. With no objection to that, for 1 week continuance of the matter, so long as, yes, the public hearing portion of the matter is closed, meaning that all protests, are cut off at this
Okay,
point.
well, that being said, we do have some testifiers here and also online. So at this time, we'll be taking public testimony. So I'll call the first testifier, Mr. Michael Korzenko. Hi there, you can come up over here, sir, and Ms. Agag will swear you in.
Am I allowed to pass out transcripts?
After we swear you in, sure.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Do you swear here today that your testimony, the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. So if you could limit it to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And yep, Mr. Sato can handle that for us.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hi,
I'm
you can have a
Michael.
seat, make yourself comfortable.
No, I'm too nervous to sit.
Okay.
The neighborhood elected me to relay their comments. I gave mine last month. So I'm grateful to the commissioners. They were interested in visiting our neighborhood. And if you were there in the evening, you would have noticed that it was relatively quiet. There's a few cars and very few people on our streets. In the 1960s, it was known as Waikiki Jungle, but it has cleaned up nicely, and now it's a fairly peaceful oasis in a very lively town. During our sidewalk talks and the petition protest signings, we met with over 200 people living in buildings other than our Governor Cleghorn, all within 500 feet of the proposed bar, all on the Mauka side of Kuhio Avenue. And we found that very few people knew of the bar proposal, and even residents and maintenance people living and working at 209 Kailani were aware of what was happening on the ground floor of their own building. I'm sure the applicants did the required notifications, but my interviews were not able to find many people who were aware of the bar proposal. So I am thankful that the commissioners had allowed the additional testimony this month. It gave us time to reach out to the owners and the voters to let them know of the license application. So these are the comments that were presented to me from my neighbors. And again, not just my building at 225, we're right next to the place. The purpose of my 3-minute testimony is to relay those. So 3 guys said, cool, a bar. 40 said, no, thank you, we don't want to get involved. And roughly about 160 had said, no bar, or I had not heard anything about a bar, or how cruel and inappropriate to put a bar in our neighborhood. And my favorite, when has a bar ever made a neighborhood safer? So from an investment perspective, by eliminating the ground floor of this apartment building and utilizing the space and the adjoining alley for commercial use, the resale value of 209 Kailani increases. Now, if a liquor license can be secured and a bar established, the value of the property increases significantly. And most assuredly, the quality of life for our neighborhood decreases significantly with the introduction of nighttime bar activity and daytime bar replenishment activities, delivery trucks, sanitation services. So there's a new program that came out. It's similar to Chinatown's Weed and Seed, and it's called Safe and Sound Waikiki. It is proposed by Steve Alm, but it's to make the area safer for tourists. Our protest objective is to keep our neighborhood safe and quiet for our residents. In 2015, certain buildings on Kuhio Avenue were rezoned for mixed-use commercial, and they conduct their business on Kuhio Avenue. 209 Kailani building will be conducting their business not on Kuhio Avenue, but on Kailani Avenue, which is a one-way residential street with no sanctioned parking, no loading zones, and one of the most disruptive commercial activities being proposed, a 2 a.m. liquor license to allow operation of a standalone bar. The neighbors aren't happy. Thank you for listening. Backside just shows the zoning.
I have a question, sir. And I don't want to ruin your name or misstate it, but you testified previously?
I testified last month, and this month the neighbors asked me to testify for them.
There was a representation by the applicant's counsel that they will be willing to have liquor service at 10 p.m. Does that assuage your concerns in any respect?
No, because it can be extended at any time based on good behavior.
Let's just say 10 p.m.
Nobody writes it. It just
So what
don't-
about 8 p.m.?
I don't know. I did not ask that.
I just want to get your opinion. Your
My
resident.
opinion, I don't think really counts. It's the neighborhood I'm representing right now. And basically, they just said no bar. And the reason being, there's no room. It's a residential street with no place, no loading zones, no parking, no commercial activity. So that's the reason we're fighting. It's the first time for commercial activity.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the
We
questions.
appreciate your time and you coming down.
Oh, why do I get so nervous? Thank you.
I still get nervous every time too.
Thank you for listening.
All right. Okay, I believe that we have other testifiers online. Hello, sir. Are you testifying on agenda item number 2?
I am.
Okay, please introduce yourself and then Ms. Agag will swear you in.
My name is Roland Nips.
Good afternoon, sir. If you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Do you swear today that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Roland Nips. I live at the Cleghorn building that's going to abut the bar. And I am here to urge you to deny the applicant a liquor license. I have 3 reasons. I'll be very brief. The first 2 have to do with noise. The way our building was constructed, we don't have air conditioners, so there's a lot of jalousies and louver windows. And so it's hard to close up the apartment and silence it from outside. So that's just one consideration. 2 is more personal. I'm a grade school teacher. I get up at 5 in the morning and I go to sleep at 8:30. I'm pretty sure if there's a bar, whether it's a 10 or 2, I will be disturbed. So I'm thinking about the quality of my work. That's a very big concern. And then my final reason has to do with the keiki, the young children. We have a pool that abuts the alley to the bar, and the bar space is pretty small. So I can't say for sure, the applicant would have to say, but I suspect there will be tables in this alleyway, and the children will be exposed to bar behavior. And I don't think that is something that our community would appreciate. So those are my 3 reasons. I appreciate you letting me speak.
Mr. Nips, before you go, and thank you for testifying, I'm going to ask the same question I asked the prior testifier. What is your opinion in terms of the representation that the license or the applicant is willing to stop liquor service at 10 p.m.? Does that address your concerns?
No, the noise thing, that could be all day. I don't know what time the bar is planning to open. I'm going to sleep at 8:30. That thing's open at 10. He says it wouldn't shut down at 10:30. I suspect there'll be some overrunning of that. And then if you folks approve it after 6 months, then it's 2 in the morning. So no, I don't approve it. And for the children, they shouldn't be exposed to that at any time.
Okay, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you for giving me the time.
Another testifier for agenda item 2.
Yes, I'm Denise Boisvert.
Hello, ma'am. Ms. Agag will swear you in.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you. Do you swear that your testimony here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Aloha. My name is Denise Boisvert, and I live at 225 Kaiulani Avenue. I believe that our elected representatives and the Waikiki Neighborhood Board understand the needs of the residents of Waikiki's apartment precinct better than the applicants from 888 Phoenix. Commissioners, if you were able to visit our neighborhood to see what the fuss is all about, I truly hope you came around 9 p.m. because you would have seen very few people and cars on our small one-way streets. Please look at the testimony photos in your board packet, and you'll see that even closing at 10 p.m. would be way too late. The applicants are completely wrong when they say we in the Governor Cleghorn won't hear noise from their ever-facing door, because we can hear noise and the occasional inebriated person on the Mackay side of Kuhio. We can also hear conversations in the parking lot across the street from 209 Kaiulani. As you can see in a couple of the photos, residents across the street in 218 and 222 Kaiulani have windows that look right at their ever-facing door. I have enjoyed dining at Panya many times over the years. Due to the pandemic, there are now dozens of empty commercial spaces available for the applicants to showcase their talents without being right under the pillows of residents. We would greatly appreciate it if Mr. Young, their silent partner and the owner of the building, would rent to useful businesses that our neighborhood would gladly welcome, like a UPS store and a barber shop. We don't need a poo-poo bar. Sometimes you just have to say no. Even if a liquor license application has dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and has a friendly former liquor administrator as a consultant. Sometimes you just have to say no, because an applicant's business idea is not a good fit for the residents of the neighborhood, and especially when all their elected officials agree with them. Please, this time, for this application, don't even offer 10 p.m. as a consolation prize, because it is the residents who will lose completely. Please just say no. Thank you for your consideration.
Now, I'm going to ask you a similar question I asked the other testifiers. Does the 10 p.m. closure or stoppage of alcohol service represented by the applicant address any of your concerns?
Absolutely not. We won't. It would be still way too late. Our street, if you came to our street at even 8:30, 9 o'clock, there are not a lot of people on the street. It's quiet. It's quiet at street level, right at the sidewalks. 10 p.m. is still way too late. People, I don't even know when last call would be. Is it like 9:55? I mean, they're going to be nursing their drinks for the next half hour or so. They
Okay,
don't
thank
need,
you. And I will let
thank
you know,
you. I
I
appreciate it.
did
Yeah.
visit the area,
Uh-huh.
and I agree with the assessment of you and the other testifiers in terms of the character of that location. I did also hear you say that on the Mackay side of Kuhio, you folks can pick up ambient noise from your residents, is that right?
Yes, sometimes we can. It's not every minute, but we can. So when the applicants say that we won't hear them, they're completely wrong.
And one of my takeaways is it seems like the location of the applicant is right on the edge of a lot of commercial activity going Mackay and Eva. And where you folks are located, it seems the character turns more neighborhood. Is that accurate?
Where they're located is Mackay and Eva, yes. But
My point is,
they're
if
going
you
to
go Kitty-
be
I'm sorry.
right next to us, right below us, and anyone coming out of their door talking loudly at 8:30, 9:30, 10 at night will still be able to be heard by us. And we don't need that extra noise. We're already, as you can see, the neighborhood board and our city councilor and our state reps have said we're already dealing with enough noise. We don't need a bar. We need a UPS store. We need a
Okay,
barber
thank you.
shop.
Thank you for your testimony, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I could interject.
Yes,
We have-
if we have no other testifiers in the galley or online, then we'll close the testimony for now unless someone else would like to testify.
I know there are people who want to testify.
I mean, right, at this agenda hearing, thank you.
Yes,
Um,
hello.
Oh, okay, there we go. We have someone who would like to testify for agenda item number 2. Ms. Walker,
Yes.
okay, please introduce yourself for the record and then Ms. Agay can swear you in.
If you can please.
Pamela Walker.
Thank you. And thank you for raising your right hand. Do you swear that your testimony here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, I have lived in the Governor Cleghorn since 1993, and it has always been a very quiet and peaceful family environment until just recently when the building at 209 Kailani was changed to a mixed residential and commercial type of a structure. When they opened the store to sell the CBD products, it changed the whole environment of the street at that point. And you couldn't even walk down the streets at times because people were standing outside, both employees and customers, and they were just taking up the whole driveway. And these are the same people who are trying to promote their bar going into this location. As was said earlier, there's no parking for anybody to park to go to this, so they're all going to be walking. They're going to be noisy. The same owners did try to put a food truck there in the small little location that was used for parking for the previous owners of that building, which would only hold about 4 or 5 cars. And then when they put this food truck there, they decided they were going to try to run an operation there, which that got set down. They did have a food truck previously behind on the Diamond Head side of that building, and it was there for a while until it was determined that they were illegal. And every time they would fire up that food truck, the smell of the food would come right straight up into our windows. It's just the whole environment of having a bar right next to us that is really, it's going to really disrupt our whole neighborhood. I also have a tenant who lives next door. I own an apartment that I have a rental, and she said that if the bar is allowed to come in, then she's going to move out because she works late at night and she does not want to be coming home having people coming out of the bar and possibly be more of danger to her having to cross cross that area. So, and as far as the 10 o'clock, that's that really does not, it's not going to help our situation because the noise comes directly up into our our apartments. And as was previously said, we have a lot of open areas because of the jalousies. And I'm hoping that you will say no to the application. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else who would like to testify for agenda item number 2?
Yes, Kim Jorgensen.
Good afternoon, sir. Ms. Agag will swear you in.
Thank you. If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear that your testimony here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Kim Jorgensen and I live at 225 Kaiolani. Seriously, who really wants to live next to a bar? Certainly not the many families of small children in my neighborhood. Certainly not the teachers and other employed persons who live here. As a retired high school teacher who had to get up very early for 32 years, I know I would not have appreciated a bar opening next to me. Certainly not the residents in 218, 222, and 225 Kaiolani Avenue, who will hear each and every time the bar door opens, and when patrons spill out and talk loudly after drinking, and when patrons light up their cigarettes on the sidewalk between drinks. Certainly not landlords who will lose qualified tenants because tenants don't want to rent next door to a bar. And certainly not the many long-term owner occupants and tenants who will consider moving because of it. 3 applicants are proposing one very small bar with only 42 bar stools, and that small business will disrupt hundreds of current and future residents of my neighborhood. I was surprised by the past discussion that the applicant's goal is to clean up our neighborhood and get the right people to come to it. One of the applicants is the business's owner and the landlord of Pinky's Hempire, a THC store in the building that got raided in June. And now he wants to open a bar next to Pinky's? Is that the strategy to get the right people and to clean up the neighborhood? It's not the jungle anymore. The fronts of buildings are better maintained. Visible garbage is bulky pickup. Our neighborhood is filled with low, middle, and high income, ethnically diverse, employed, students, and retired residents who often know and recognize each other on our sidewalks. What is wrong with that? In the past two hearings, a couple commissioners explained that they had just received their board packet and had not yet read all the testimonies. I certainly understand the abundance of material you get before each hearing. I truly hope you will have the time to read all the individual testimonies to fully understand why we are all opposed to having a bar, even one open only till 10 p.m. in our quiet residential neighborhood. Our elected officials hear us. I hope you will as well. Thank you for your consideration.
Do we have anyone else who would like to testify for agenda item number 2?
I would.
Okay, sir, please introduce yourself and Ms. Agay will swear you in.
My name is Salvatore Nello.
Your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony today.
I do.
Head start.
I live at 225 Kaiulani. The first time my wife and I ever visited Hawaii was 2006. And when we first came across Kuhio, it was not a very good street. It was dark, it was seedy, there was prostitution. We didn't feel safe or comfortable being on Kuhio. Over the years, as we kept visiting, we would check it out, and it got progressively better. So much better to the point that we were happy to buy our new home and move to Hawaii and live a stone's throw away from the very street that we didn't even want to stand on. All those changes were for the good. A bar like this is reversing the course. It's been referred to as a neighborhood bar. That's what was riddled on Kuhio before that made it a little sketchy. This neighborhood, our neighborhood, my neighborhood, is not asking for this bar. We don't need this bar. We don't want this bar. You heard everybody else about the noise and everything else, and I concur all that. I would ask you to vote on this as if you lived in my building. If you lived in 225 Kaiulani, would you honestly vote to approve this? You exist for this very reason. When there's something that shouldn't be happening, a board like yours exists to stop it, to keep things under control. Please, please, please respect that. Understand where we're all coming from. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else who would like to testify for agenda item number 2? Here in the galley. Okay. All right. Seeing as there are no more testimony, Mr. Nishioka, do you have any responses to the testifiers today?
Well, I do know that Ms. Volsberg, this is the third time she testified
She's very concerned about this.
previously. And I think, part of the situation here, I mean, we can address facts, but we can't address innuendo, supposition, etc. I mean, that's why we propose in the 6-month period to give the applicant an opportunity. If, at the time, next week, let's say when it comes to, hopefully this matter comes to close. And we're trying to reach out, try to reach a compromise with certain safeguards in place to address the concerns raised by the protests. And we're applicant, we are cognizant of their objections. And again, we would ask that, give the applicant a chance. I mean, like I said, they're willing to work with the, with the commission, whatever guidelines you set forth. I do note that in Mr. Jorgensen's written testimony, he did note that there was an illegal food truck operation. And again, I think we addressed that issue in the first hearing, but Food truck got the approval, I believe, of the Department of Health, and that was all the thought that was necessary. Once the DPP submitted a notice of violation, that operation shut down immediately. So it's not like it was some kind of rogue operation that continued, just continued. Upon being notified that there was a violation, again, they addressed the issue in a forthright manner. It's not like they kept on going and ignored it. Again, it's something that we are willing to address. All the issues raised, we are willing to address and work with the surrounding community to make this happen and make it a positive thing.
With that being said, Mr. Nishioka, so I hear from the neighborhood that the main concern happens to be noise. So are you folks planning on having any air conditioning in this space?
It is totally enclosed. The windows cannot be opened. There's no outdoor seating planned.
So it's completely enclosed, air conditioned.
Completely enclosed
Windows
and
and
air
doors
conditioned.
will be kept closed except for entrance and exit
Correct.
of patrons.
No
and
amplified
staff.
music, no live music is planned,
No dancing.
nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also hear that parking and traffic and loitering are their concerns. So do you folks have any plan for making arrangements for parking, or is this just gonna be street parking and foot traffic?
There's a parking lot across the street, but again, realizing the situation, I mean, the whole business plan is set up to where the clientele would be from the neighboring area.
I would highly recommend, if we are inclined to approve this, that you folks put some information for your patrons about where to park.
We'll
So
work
that
on
we
that.
are not
Yeah.
trying to park on a one-way street or
Mhm.
trying to find parking in apartment building complexes that they're not allowed to park in. Give them information for the available parking in the area
Definitely.
if we decide to approve this. And then also noise, I understand, I did live next to a bar in Kamuki. So people exiting and hanging out in outside of the bar, smoking cigarettes, talking loudly. You folks have any plan to address that?
I think at this point, if necessary, we will continue to monitor, people exiting, and if they're hanging out, to tell them to move on. And if people want to smoke, I think, ideally, we don't want them smoking outside of the bar anyway. If they want to go to Kuhio Avenue, which is what, 40 feet away, maybe? That's 25 feet away, and where there's, that's fine. I mean, you got the buses going back and forth up there anyway.
Right.
So, I think that those issues can be, addressed meaningfully and, in a positive manner.
Commissioners, do you have any additional questions or type of action?
Or just for the record, we'll make the document that the first testifier presented part of the record. And Mr. Nishioka, you referenced documents you submitted yesterday. I also don't have them. Do you have
It
an
has been
extra, do
submitted to the commission.
you have an extra copy handy?
If I may, I do not have an extra copy of the letter, but I do have, if I may approach, I do have copies of the petition. I will give you whatever.
Rather than doing that, why don't you ensure that you send by email or hand deliver to the licensing supervisor the documents you described, so we have a complete record.
They have been. They
Okay, I
were-
just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Okay, thank you. With that, my motion is going to be to close the public hearing and continue this agenda item for 1 week to September 29, 2022.
Second.
And moved and seconded to close the public hearing and continue this matter for 1 week. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried, and the agenda item is continued.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sure.
And thank you
Commissioners,
to all the testifiers.
One more thing, Commissioner, you sure, I just checked with you, Chief Investigator Sato, Investigator Sato, and the investigator has received the material.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 3, application number 22-24401 from Home Slice Pizza LLC, DBA Jack's Wood Fired Pizza.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi,
Please
Hi,
introduce yourself.
I'm Michelle Smith. I'm owner of Home Slice Pizza LLC.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Agag.
Thank you, Interim Chair. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support, Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or type of action for the applicant?
And to approve application number 22-24401.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24401. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Moving on to special license applications, calling agenda item number 4, application number 23-00552 from Pools and Catering by Sinublan Inc. DBA Sinublan Catering. Mr. Aliro.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Sam Alero, General Manager for Sinublan Catering.
This is for a private party, Mr. Aliro, at the Philcom Center.
Yes, ma'am. It's a Kamayan, Filipino Kamayan event.
Who are you expecting?
We are expecting about 60 people, all adults. It's a private dinner event where they are in the traditional Filipino eatery where they use their hands and then they share food with amongst their peers.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Yes, Chair, motion to approve application number 23-00552.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 23-00552. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you. Have a good event.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Preliminary hearing, calling agenda item number 5, transfer application number 22-24398 from Rainbow State Investments DBA Million Restaurant at Kapi'olani. Ms. Melcher.
Good afternoon, Chairs and Commissioner. Robin Melch on behalf of the applicant, Rainbow State Investments, Inc. And appearing with me via Zoom is Charlene Miura, the president. We have reviewed the report and there are no amendments or changes.
Thank you. Commissioners.
Motion to approve transfer. Yes, transfer application number 22-24398.
Then moved and seconded to approve transfer application number 22-24398. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Calling
you.
agenda item number 6, application number 22-24036 from MPK4 LLC, DBA Monkey Pod Kitchen by Merriman. Mr. Uyoka.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the commission. Robert Uyoka on behalf of Monkey Pod Kitchen by Merriman. Also present via Zoom is Sarah Hill. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Handcrafted Restaurants. At this time, we have no changes to the investigative report.
Commissioners.
Motion to approve application number 22-24036.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24036. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 7, application number 22-24175 from Zeton Inc., DBA Zeton Inc.
Thank
Mr.
you, Madam
Gould.
Chair. Commissioner members, Kenneth Hill appearing for the applicant. Also appearing by Zoom is Makoto Hasegawa, Hasegawa. He is the Vice President of the applicant. I have no changes to the investigative report other than to make comments as to the issue that was raised with regard to kitchen facilities.
Yes, please.
Okay, so this, this is a restaurant that's open for dinner almost every day of the week. It's been operating under a temporary license since June 6th. And the food sales to date on a percentage basis is exceeds 68%. We have, as noted in the report, some kitchen facilities. We have recently acquired an additional stove top and an additional oven, where this restaurant specializes in seafood. Well, it serves seafood, it specializes in poke and oysters. And also they serve salads, ceviche, shrimp, vegetables. And with the additional equipment, they will be able to make pizza and
Getting
pasta.
hungry, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, me too. But
we can't eat right now. So that's, we believe that we won't have any problem meeting the food requirement.
Thank you for that representation. Commissioners, any additional questions or type of action?
Yes, Chair, motion to approve application number 22-24175.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24175. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Calling agenda item number 8, application number 22-24176 from Zeton Inc. Mr. Hu again.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commission members, Kenneth Hu appearing for the applicant, and also appearing again, Mr. Makoto Hasegawa. He is the officer of the applicant. We have no changes to the investigative report. We have been operating at the premises since March of this year under a temporary license. No issues.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Motion to approve application number 22-24176.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24176. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 9, application number 22-24561 from Target Corporation. Mr. Cook.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. Vaughn Cook, attorney, appearing on behalf of Target Corporation, doing business as Target Store number T-2888. Also appearing on Zoom with me is Mr. James Tyke, spelled Tyacke. He will be the store director of this new Target store on the windward side of Oahu. We've reviewed the licensing investigative report and have just one clarification. On page 5, under employees, rather than one manager, there is a store director, one store director, and 8 executive team leads, all of whom are salaried managers. Other than that, no other changes to the report.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Commissioners, any questions or type of action for the applicant?
Motion to approve application number 22-24561.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24561. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, commissioners.
Calling agenda item number 10, application number 22-24579 from Food Pantry Limited, DBA Waikiki Market. Mr. Uyoka again.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission. Robert Uyoka on behalf of Food Pantry doing business as Waikiki Market. Also present via Zoom is Mr. Brad Iwasaki. He's the general manager. At this time, we have no changes.
Mr. Uyoka, before you proceed, I'm going to make a disclosure that I may have a potential conflict of interest. It's not going to affect my impartiality over this matter, so I'll remain seated. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That's so noted for the record, Commissioner Miyashiro. Thank you. Mr. Uyoka, please
Yeah.
proceed.
We have no changes. Investigators report. This is for the new Lilia Waikiki project on Kuhio. This retail store would be located on the second story of the building.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Motion to approve application number 22-24579.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24579. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you. Moving on to temporary license applications, calling agenda item number 11, application number 22-24360 from KH Restaurants LLC, DBA Coco Head Cafe. Mr. Lee, nice to see you.
Good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners. Terry Lee, appearing for the applicant. Reviewed the investigative report, no changes.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Thank you for coming in person. Motion to approve application number 22-24360.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24360. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 12, application number 22-24495 from Namikaze LLC.
Good afternoon, members of the commission. Chelsea Maja appearing on behalf of the applicant. Also seated in the room is Mr. Brandon Nakachi, Last name spelled Nakach. I, the general manager. We have no changes to the investigators report.
Thank you. And this is at the former site of Uncle's Fish Market, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Motion to approve application number 22-24495.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24495. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you, Ms. Macha.
Thank you.
Moving on into caterer license applications, calling agenda item number 13, application number 23-00516 from MIBB LLC DBA Moani Island Bistro and Bar. Mr. Lee again.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Terry Lee appearing this time as a member of the applicant. To my right is Micah Kealanui, Keolanui. He is also a manager and member of the applicant.
This is for the cater off-site,
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
Okay. And this is for the music festival that's coming up on the 1st, correct?
Correct.
Commissioners, any additional questions or type of action?
Number 23-00516.
Then moved and seconded to approve application number 23-00516. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved. Thank you, guys. Have a good event. Calling agenda item number 14, application number 23-00558 from Sodexo America. Hello, Mr.
Hey.
Soludan.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Commission. Justin Solusad, appearing on behalf of Sodexo America, authorized agent. I have an update to the map.
You want to introduce the?
Oh, sorry. So appearing with me is Katie Barker. She's my bar manager.
And you said you had some corrections.
Yeah,
to
it's
the
it's an
layout.
update to the footprint of what's going on for the Pride Festival. Just came up with it. It just shows the food trucks that we'll have there. I got an updated count and kind of inserted those in.
Yeah, we'll make that part of the record.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Barker, Katie, Kati. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, so the food vendors are marked with
Yes.
boxes and with
Yeah.
marks with the letter F
So,
on the map.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Oh, you
changes
guys have a
and the
lot of
changes would
vendors
be,
coming.
yeah, so I licensed the whole premise because it's still like I mean, not a flowing thing, but I want to license the whole premise. But we are controlling, it's gonna be that back area that we're gonna keep the alcohol inside. I marked it with the yellow lines, right? That's that's like, we're gonna keep the alcohol in those points.
Okay,
Yeah. Points of sales aren't gonna go on the outside. It's just in that back area.
but just in case people have it in hand. when they go
No,
to the food
there's
truck, when
a
folks-
barricade that,
Okay,
because it's a family fun zone on that lot
On
with the
that
food,
side.
yeah.
Okay,
The other side, the
alright.
normal stage area, you know,
Okay,
that was the last update I had, and we're gonna kind of keep it that.
all right. And I see here that you folks are expecting around 4,500 people. Do you guys have an updated count?
That's the past 3 years average.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
And that's a lot, it's a walk-up event. So what happens is they have the parade,
Mhm.
and after the parade, they come through and, do that
Mhm.
thing.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be like the big celebration at
Yes,
the end of
yes,
the parade.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, hasn't been for 2 years. Yeah, exciting.
Okay, so the estimate is based on the last 2 years?
That's the gate
event.
count, yes.
Okay, okay. All right. All right, commissioners, do you have any additional questions or type of action?
Motion to approve application number 23-00558.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 23-00558. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved.
Yeah, I just need to clarify. Is this actually 23?
23, did I misspeak?
No, both my packet and my investigative report says 23, but don't we use the calendar year?
Yes. not
Oh,
sure.
I see another one. Can I check with Investigator Sato? Just want to make sure we
Yeah,
approve
no.
the right number.
Yeah, for sure.
Want to make sure the application is correct. Are we using 23? And there's another one lower down, agenda number 9. That we're doing 22 dash numbers consecutive.
Oh, we're in 23 fiscal year, right?
Oh, we are in the 23 this year.
Right.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. We already made the motion. We approved it. I just want to make
No,
sure.
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You guys
come
are
back
good.
here.
Thank you.
Perfect. No,
No, no, not you guys. That's just a typo.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys. Have a
Folks, have
great
a good
day.
night.
Thank you.
All right. Big agenda item number 15, application number 22-24144 from Wi-Fi Wave LLC, DBA Wi-Fi Lagoon Excursions. Mr. Hu.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commission members. Kenneth Hu appearing for the applicant. To my right, Mr. Greg, Greg Champion, Champion. He's a general manager for Wi-Fi Development. This is a continued hearing. We had one earlier. There were questions that we needed to address. We have submitted a boat operations and safety plan. We did that on Tuesday. I'm hopeful the commissioners received that.
We did.
Okay, so we are hopeful that it answers the concerns and questions that you had. And if there are additional questions, I can't answer them because Mr. Champion will answer.
Thank you.
And this by way of background. Mr. Champion's background is that he managed the Coalino Marina for 6 years prior to working for Wi-Fi. So he was involved in the licensing of tour cruise vessel licenses for the boats there also.
So first, I want to thank you for providing the safety plan. This addresses 99.9% of my concerns. I'm not sure what the other 0.1 is at this
I was
point.
hopeful that there would.
I do have a question, and I know that the lagoon is going to have multiple uses in addition to the stuffy boat, correct? So one question I have, maybe not so much concern, is how to avoid the activities from interfering with each other. For example, if there's a stand-up paddler, and I see looks like the intention is to have the duffy boat travel in a counterclockwise manner. Can you address any potential near misses?
The boat is not going to go any faster than 5 miles per hour. Okay. Okay, that's one thing. And as far as the other activities, Greg, you can address that.
Yeah, we're putting a buffer, we're training the staff to put a 30-foot buffer around anyone. So the boat will stop if a paddle water happens to come near.
One swimming in this lagoon, right? It's only some sort of device. Or are there swimmers in the lagoon?
It's going to be mainly equipment used. So paddle boards, kayak, canoe, duffy boat.
If in the future folks decide to allow swimming, are you going to restrict it to an area to protect the swimmers?
We will, and it'll be a controlled environment, like a triathlon or a club swim lane. So we will have boundaries.
Well, thank you again for this very detailed operations plan and safety plan. I also think that this meets about 99% of my concerns. My 1% is always having to do with over service. You know, this is the west side. The sun is very intense. Some people are going to be getting on boats that maybe have never been on a boat before. And it's easy to overestimate how much you can drink and consume and you'll be okay. So my concern is training your staff to make sure that the drinks are being paced properly, that they're being poured properly so that you're not getting drinks that are too strong for the patrons. And that if somebody is not okay, that there is a plan. I'm sure you folks also as a business have that concern because you do not want it to be a safety concern. People jumping off the boat or people throwing up off the boat or people throwing stuff at other people in the water. So these are my concerns because, you know, people can tend to go overboard and in a boating situation, that is quite literal.
Sure.
So I would like to make sure that you folks are going to have highly trained staff that are going to know what to do in those types of situations.
Yes.
If I can add on to the chair's comments on overconsumption, I would echo those in addition to the passengers on the vessel. I assume that the people using the equipment can and will be served alcohol on shore at the other licensed premises, correct? In other words, somebody who can have a drink at the bar, the cafe,
They
can
can
get on
go
a,
on down to the
get on
vessel.
a
which is-
stand-up surfboard, for example.
But they go through screening.
Okay.
They have to go through the orientation, the check to make sure they're okay. They're wristbanded, if they're adults, all those things, they have to go through that before they're allowed to get onto the vessel.
No, I'm talking about the user, let's say, of a stand-up paddleboard. So there's two potential uses that
Sure.
could interfere with each other, and both could have people consuming alcohol.
Okay.
That's
The
the
champion
question.
can address that.
Thank you, Commissioner, for allowing me to speak. I did want to point out, your concerns are very valid as well. I myself, my other background, I was a lifeguard and EMT for over 20 years. So safety for me is the highest priority, especially in a water setting.
That's good to
We
hear.
have water in and out. In this in particular, we do have to balance alcohol consumption with water. And so what we're going to do, the plan is to have really strict screening. So if there is any feelings of overconsumption, we will not rent anything to anyone. The last thing I want anyone to do is drown in the water. That's my worst fear. It's probably my main priority. The duration's only 1 hour, and the environment that I am trying to create is more of an ambiance, a slow. The guests really aren't going to have much time to drink, and I want a quality versus quantity type experience. So there's not going to be any sort of booze cruise threats or anything like that. I would personally shut that down. It's not the environment.
What is your timing on opening the facilities?
Grand opening date scheduled for February 10th, 2023.
Explanation, and I might as well make a motion. I'm inclined to approve this application with a 1-year probation period and for the applicant to come back with a report to discuss or give us a report on any incidents in the lagoon, whether or not it's alcohol related. And also I want to make sure there's compliance with the safety plan you folks provided and any other updates on safety measures that may have been implemented since today or since you start operations. So motion to approve application number 22-24144 for a 1-year probation period starting from the day that the license is picked up. And for that licensee to come back and provide the commission with a report for 2 things. 1, to disclose any incidents of any nature involving the lagoon, including alcohol-related incidents. Hopefully there are none. Followed by a report that shows compliance with the safety plan and any updated safety measures that the licensee is going to undertake.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 22-24144 with the conditions stated in Commissioner Miyashiro's motion. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Application is approved with conditions. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Agenda item number, I'm moving into requests. Calling agenda item number 16, request number 22-24174 from YLI Mini Mart LLC. Mr. Luke.
For the record, reflect Wayne Lucas, counsel for applicant. Could I have a 3-week continuance on this? October 13th.
Is anyone able to confirm that's we're eligible for space on that date? You know. We'll make the motion to continue it on the date, but just because we don't necessarily know what's on calendar, we'll do our best.
Okay.
Is there a reason you need that specific date?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be gone for the next 10 days, so I need to talk to my client further.
Okay, I'll make a motion to continue agenda item number 16 until October 13, 2022.
The moved and seconded to continue agenda item 16 to October 13, 2022. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. This agenda item is continued.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item 17, request number 22-24678 from Don Goyo's Mexican Food. Mr.
Good
Shinsato.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Chair and Commissioners. Ross Shinsato, authorized agent for Don Goyo's Mexican Food, Inc. Next to me is Cornelio Chaidez, the owner of the corporation, spelled CORNELIOCHAIDEZ. We have been operating under a temporary approval for the extension since Cinco de Mayo with no incidents. Today's request is to make the extension permanent.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
There, motion to approve request number 22-24678.
Moved and seconded to approve request number 22-24678. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Request is granted. Thank you, Mr. Shinsato.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 18, request number 22-24780 from JYH Corporation, DBA Kikin Cajun. Ms. Wu.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young Woo on behalf of JYH Corporation. Also, together with via Zoom, the manager, Haeyun Higuchi, and no corrections to the investigative report.
Any questions or type of action?
Motion to approve request number 22-24780.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve request number 22-24780. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Request is approved. Thank you, Ms. Wu.
Thank you.
Moving on to other business, calling agenda item number 19, request number 23-00578 from Ricky Shibasaki Goro on behalf of 17A Productions LLC, DBA Nightmare and DBA Winter Wonderland. Mr. Shibasaki Goro.
Hello, thank
Hi,
you.
thank you for your patience.
Oh, yeah. Do I spell my name again?
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Just doing requesting for a location change because the day after I had my last hearing,
Mhm.
September 9th, Alamoana pulled the longest location that we got approved for this special event and moved us to the Old Chocodo. So I immediately had to call and get paperwork in to refile because I know we're within the 6-week filing period.
Right.
So I was hoping that we would be able to get approved for the new location because we still want to plan to open on Thursday, which we applied for and paid for all the licensings for a day.
Yes.
So we just need a location change if possible, please.
Okay. Yeah, and this was outside of your folks' control because Alamoana tends to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
This might actually be better though because
No,
you
the
don't have a
location's-
private elevator to have to get up.
yeah, the location is better. Moving in and out would be a lot easier.
Okay, okay, but your folks have kind of the same plan for how to operate.
Exact same plan. I know the other issue was now we have street frontage with picture windows, but we're still just gonna do strict 21 and over.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, questions or type of action?
Motion to approve agenda item 00578.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve request number 23-00578. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. Request is approved.
Thank you. And
Thank
then
you.
one question. So our delivery days would be a little late. Do you know when the license will be available?
You would need to check with the administration. Yeah, so regular business hours, you can call or come down and they can answer. that for
Okay,
you.
if not, I can just pick it up. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you and good luck.
Chair, we have as agenda item number 20, acceptance of the adoption and decision order, but we're going to continue that because Commissioner Buckley, I understand, has a potential conflict of interest.
Okay,
So
yeah,
We'll continue that to the next available.
Sure.
date.
Due to lack of quorum, we will continue agenda item 20 to the next available date.
And similarly, on the next agenda items, 21 to 38, number 32, I understand Commissioner Buckley has a potential conflict of interest. So we're going to continue that matter to the next available date. But for my motion is to approve adoption of decision and order, agenda items number 21 to 31 and 33 to 38.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the adoption of decision and order for agenda items 21 through 31 and 33 through 38 inclusive, and continuing to the next available agenda item 32. Any objections or reservations? Hearing none, I also vote aye. Motion is carried. All right, believe that brings us to agenda item 39, which is administrative matters. And since Ms. Harai is excused for today due to her attendance at a national conference, we have Ms. Agag who is filling in for her.
I have given nothing to report, so that's all I have for that.
So our weekly report that's provided by the administration, there's no additions or changes to it. And seeing as there is no other business, we are adjourned.